Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Shavariel, and I know it's been some days, week, maybe more. I'm sorry, since I made my last video, but I've been working, and being a parent, and working, and spending time with my Lord. But I'm back. I'm back. So I was thinking, okay, before we start that, so a funny thing, when we were on our way home, me and my child, and we were coming through the gate, because I live in a gated community, and we were coming home, and one truck, just pulled right up to the gate. I'm thinking they were gonna, stop, put the code in, and then go in. But no, they went right up to the gate. And so I was right behind them, or maybe a little bit far back, but either way, they could have stopped and put the code in the gate. So I pull up and I'm like, oh, skirt. No, I don't play those games. You are not driving up to the gate and not put that gate code in. Now that's just rude. First of all, you could have put the gate code in and I would have just pulled right behind you. You put the code in, you go, then I go. Why do people do this? Like they just drive straight up to the gate and expect the next person to put in the gate code. No. So I turned right around and they had to put the code in. They had to back up and put the code in. But I just thought that was so funny because that is really irritating that people do that. I know that people do that, but I really wanted to share today. Here's what I want you all to know. When you willingly sin, willingly walk into sin, as time goes and you have to tell your testimony or share your testimony, it's not going to be easy. And you may feel embarrassed. You may feel a plethora of feelings because I feel that. But just remember, it's not for you. Well, the lesson is for you because you have to learn from it and not make that mistake again. So you learn from it and move on. But it's also for someone else because when you share your testimony, that really can save the next person. So if you fall and I'm coming up behind you and you don't say nothing, well, there I go. But if I decide to say something, the next person is going to be like, oh, we walk around, go around this way or go the other way. You see what I mean? So it's for you, but it's for you to share with others. So there's a lot of conviction with it. Like I said, sometimes it can be embarrassing to say that you've made certain mistakes or you were into something that was unholy or that wasn't right. But you just keep in mind that it's to help someone else or other people. So it's a blueprint to help others which form in the body of Christ. So you all operate, we all have our positions, but if something is not working or maybe you did it and it didn't work, when you share your testimony, it can save someone. It really can. I don't care if it's one person, but it can save someone. So just think about that. And what I was thinking of was in relationships. Again, I'm not in one, but all I can give you is my experience. And with my experience for women, for ladies, if a guy is unhealthy, he's going to show signs at all times. And it's for you, it's up to you to pay attention to the signs. Now I'm going to do another video for men with knowing the signs of an unhealthy woman, because there are some out there. I've been one of them. And right now, everybody has to wake up and be more careful. So we'll start with the women. So for women, with men, it's more so of that domineering, not all men, but the unhealthy guys, because men are men. They're not childish, they're not immature. Men are men. But guys, you will have some domineering guys, some physically abusive guys, insecure guys, controlling guys, just all kinds of things. And with that, how do you know the signs? Well, depending on the man, really. Depending on the man. I know for me, it was controlling, being controlling. And what that looks like is that he has to have a say-so in everything. So you ever have a guy or been with a guy and say, like, it's something just as simple. You want to go out to eat, and say that you two decide to go out on a Saturday, and you say, okay, let's have dinner at 5. Okay, let's go to a steakhouse. Okay, and he's just like, yeah, cool, okay, that sounds good. And then as you're getting close, as the time is getting closer, so it's Saturday, it's almost 5 o'clock, this guy decides that he no longer wants to go to the steakhouse. He wants to change it last minute. And you're just like, okay, but we made reservations and we decided on it. And you said you were okay with it. And he's just like, and then his response would be like, well, yeah, but let's just do something else. And then maybe you end up not going because of his indecisiveness, or because it's frustrating for you. You just like, okay, well, you said we were going to go. It's almost 5 now. So what are we doing? This was an important night. We have dinner together. It was just going to be me and you. Or if you have children together, you just like, okay, I asked my parents to watch our baby now. we got somebody to watch the kids, and now you just like, you change plans last minute. I mean, that's not responsible. And it's that, it seems simple, but it's that little thing to say, I want the last word. And what you have to say about that is red flag. Red flag. No, that's not just as simple as I just wanted to change plans. That's because you want to have the last say in things which are unnecessary. Or you have a situation where maybe you're breaking up and you're just like, okay, dude, this isn't working. I don't want to be with you anymore. This is it.
Well, that's a disappointment.
I know, isn't it, Google? Google's knows stuff, y'all. You see how I didn't say, hey, Google? Did you see how I didn't say that? And she just chimed in the situation. Thank you, Google. So, like I was saying, let me fix that. So, like I was saying, oh, now look what Google done. Okay, hold on. What was I saying? I talked about that. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, breakup. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Okay, so say like if you wanted to break up with this guy and you just like, you know what? Like I heard on one of a show, I didn't watch the show, but she's just like, you're fine, but you look like you would ruin my life. Guy, you fine, but you look like you would ruin my life. Say you said that to your boyfriend or whatever he is to you in that moment. Just like, no, I just want to take a break. And he's just like, okay, well, I respect what you have to say, but I still love you. I still love you, And no, we not arguing. I still love you. You for me and I'm for you. No, that's controlling. He's not saying I love you because he loves you. He's saying that because he's controlling and he doesn't want to let you go. So that means he's cool, cool, cool. And you better not talk to that man ever again. Okay? So with that, you'll know signs. You'll know signs. One of the signs that I saw with this particular guy, we had a date and I was going to his house. First of all, that was my mistake right there. I should have had him meet me at the location, not me go to pick him up. So that was my mistake. You see why I say this is so uncomfortable? Because when I say it and I realize how dumb I was, but I love the Lord and this is what he's called me to do. I have to say, I said yes to him. What am I going to do? And I don't want to get left out of his will. So we're doing this. So praise be to God. So I went to go pick him up from his place because he had a car, but he hadn't drove it. And then he had a motorcycle, but who's going on a date on a motorcycle? Not me. So I went to go pick him up. That was my mistake at his home, and which was another mistake. Never going to a person's home if you don't know them. You know, we had only been talking a short while, and I didn't know this guy. But anyway, when I got to his place, he was not ready to go on the date. Now, I came dressed to impress. I came heels, nice jeans, nice sweater, purse in hand. I'm ready to go. I just cleaned my car. And this joker wasn't even ready. He opened the door, he in his boxers, and I'm like, okay. And I was done for that. I was stupid for that. But anyway, fast forward. So I'm waiting for him to get ready. When he opened the door and he was in his boxes, I should have said, oh, okay. Turned right back around, went home in my car. But no, I sat there like a dummy and I waited. And so he got dressed. I had to wait for him to get dressed. And then we went down to the strip and we walked up and down the strip. And as we're going, I don't know if they're doing it back then, but they were like real ruthless on the strip with human trafficking, with giving cards out to hip blubs, hip blubs. Y'all figure that out. Hip blubs. To, you know, the hip blubs joint. And they was giving them out too. They and you know how, well, here they would have to, it would be a guy normally. You would see women out there with the human trafficking. That's terrible. But the guy would have like a few cards in his hand and he would just like, and go girls, go girls, go girls, go girls, more girls, more girls. And it'd be like, you know, it'd be that whole thing. And so when we were passing by and the guy was like, you know, patting the cars, this fool took one. But he took it jokingly. There's nothing jokingly about that. That was disrespectful. And that was our first date. And that was another sign. So you see how unhealthy guys will show you signs. It'll be signs upon signs upon signs upon signs upon signs. And, you know, just I made a mistake. I made many mistakes. And so, but me and that guy have a child, children together. uh, and I'll explain that part later. I said child, children. I'll explain that later. But we have children together. And so I say that to let you know I was unhealthy too. I was unhealthy, and depending on the situation, because we all have different circumstances. But what I'm saying to you is that sometimes victim can be an enabler, or the enabler can become the victim, or maybe you be both. But being in that situation, I was an unhealthy person. I was gonna say gal, but young lady maybe. Okay. But yeah, I made a mistake. And it's costing me. It's costing me. So what I'm telling you is that look out for these signs because you don't want it to cost you, okay? With being with an unhealthy guy, if he's raising his voice at you, if he ever yells at you or displays any type of abusive conduct, whether it's punching a wall, punching a door, punching you, or throwing stuff in your presence, throwing stuff at all. It really, a good man, a good person knows how to conduct themselves, is what I'm telling you. So look out for those signs because you don't want it to cost you. You don't want it to cost your families, you know, because some people don't make it out of relationships like that alive. And it's really, really sad, but it's common. But we don't want to make it common, okay? So here's where we start knowing the signs, okay? So if an unhealthy, remember I said men are men. So if an unhealthy guy is yelling at you, cursing at you, raising his voice, hitting things, or doing anything to display like I'm over you, I'm powerful than you, you need to leave. You need to leave. Domineering, controlling, abusive in any aspect, passive aggressive, fast. Guys can be fast. They call girls being fast. Guys can be fast too. And just a handful of things. You will know signs. If he's not following up on his words, so you two go out, we're supposed to go out on a date, and then he just doesn't go through with it. So you already ready, you ready to go, but he's just like not even attempting to go on the date with you, or just he changes his mind last minute. Red flag. Because if he really wanted to go on a date with you and spend time with you, then he definitely would. And there would be nothing in his way to spend time with you, is what I'm saying. If he says he's going to call and doesn't call back, give him the 3-day silent rule to let him know, hey, no, you do what you say you're going to do. Your word is bond. And if you're not going to do what you say you're going to do, I can't trust you. And I explained that to someone because I had a friend in high school, and he and I were close. And I remember him. We weren't dating or anything like that, but we were close. We had the same class together. I believe it was home. Was it home ec? No, it wasn't home ec. That's where they teach you how to cook, I believe. It was some home decor thing where we had to, where we had to take pictures out of magazines and put them together for this home collage of decorating. It was called indoor decor. I don't remember. But anyway, he said he was going to call me back one day when he was going to get home. And normally he takes a bus home. And I was like, okay. And I sat there and I waited. Well, not physically sat and waited, but he never called. And the next day came, so I'm just like, okay, well, maybe he was busy or he just forgot or something. The next day I found out he died on the bus. It was an accident on the bus. And what happened was somebody hit the bus and the bus crashed and he didn't make it. And I explained this to this guy, and he consistently would do the same thing, not call when he said he was going to call. And it just was just like, that's why you don't tell people everything, because they don't need to know everything. But when you open up yourself like that and it's real sentimental to you, that person will use that against you for their own wickedness. And they not gonna care. They not gonna care how that makes you feel. They don't care, and will continue to do exactly what you express not to do. So those are some of the signs. I know I didn't dig too deep into it, but and I will. It's just taking a lot. And you know, I was going to freelance this, but obviously I need to write this stuff down, because that way I can be like, okay, I talked about this, I talked about this, I talked about this, I talked about this. But the reason why I do it this way is just so that I'm more in the moment presently, which is where I need to be. But notes does help me. It's not for everybody. Some people can just give you everything off the rip and just tell you what it is, what's on their heart and everything like that. But yes, I would definitely like to get more into this, but I gotta go get my baby. So I definitely will make another video like this. And like I said, this was for knowing the signs of an unhealthy guy. Not calling back, calling off dates, yelling at you, or even raising your voice. You raise your voice, that's it now. That's it. Don't do, no. You're not gonna talk to me like that. You're not gonna talk to me like that. And some guys that are unhealthy will say, you know, don't talk to me like I'm your child. Like, I had a guy tell me, you're childish. And I was like, huh? You don't say that to a woman with a child. No, boy, you're not even a child. You're immature. Because I know we like to throw that word around, childish. What a child is a child. But an immature guy is an immature guy and ignorant. I don't even use childish, because a child is a child. So, but I was like, oh, that's what you're not going to do. You're not going to tell me that I'm childish and you know I have a child. No, you're immature and you don't know how to handle a real woman. And when I call you out on stuff, because you say, oh, I like a real woman. Well, I'm giving you the real observation. You ugly. You're being ugly right now. And I don't know if you noticed, but it's starting to show on you. You might want to tighten that up. Just saying. So, something like that. But yeah, but I will make another video about signs of an unhealthy woman, given from my experience, because I've been I just said unhealthy woman. No, a woman's a woman. An unhealthy young lady. Okay? Because I've been in that position and I've had that experience. So we'll get into that on another video. All right? All right. Good night, y'all. Peace.